Okay, so now that we have some vocab down, let's go ahead and get into what this looks like when we're actually using these. So first off, our objective is that I will be able to combine like terms and use the distributive property to simplify expressions. And we want to be at that A level by the end of class, which adds in, we can do these with positive and negative numbers, so both positives and negatives. So starting off here, I have my own thinking of how I would approach this problem. Okay, so please write this down in your notes. 3n plus 5 plus 8n plus 4. So the first thing that I'm going to do is look for any like terms. So I'm going to underline any like terms that I have. I see I have this 3n, and I also have this plus 8n. So I'm underlining both terms that include an n as my variable. I know that those are like terms because they both have that n. So I'm going to combine them by adding their coefficients. So 8n plus 3n would leave me with 11n. And then I do see that I also have a 5 right here and a 4 right here. I know I can also combine those two because they are both constants. So when I add both of those together, I have 5 plus 4, which gives me plus 9 as my constant term. So this expression simplifies to 11n plus 9. Here's another one for my thinking. So I have on here negative 6n plus 5m minus 12 plus 3 plus 4n. So I have a few more terms that I want to take care of. Again, I'm going to underline my like terms. So I see I have a negative 6n, and I also have a positive 4n, or plus 4n. I know I can combine those two because they both have the same variable. I also have this negative 12 and this positive 3 that I can end up combining as well because they're both constants. I see I have a plus 5m left. Can I combine that with my n's? No. The answer would be no, because it is not the same variable as n. So now I can go through and simplify this expression. Negative 6n plus 4n would give me negative 2n. Then I have plus 5m that I'm not changing. And then negative 12 plus 3 leaves me with negative 9. So then that simplified expression would be negative 2n plus 5m minus 9. Alright, how about you guys try a couple on your own here. Make sure you write these in your notes. So we have negative 4x minus 10 plus 7 plus 6x plus x. So go ahead and pause the video while you simplify this expression. Okay, hopefully that gave you enough time. So again, I'm going to underline my like terms. I have negative 4x, positive 6x, and positive x, and then negative 10 and positive 7. So as I go through and combine those, negative 4 plus 6 would leave me with positive 2 plus x. Well, what's my coefficient with my x? 1. If I ever don't have a coefficient in front, I know that coefficient is 1. So it's really negative 4 plus 1 plus 6. So that would leave me with 3x, and then negative 10 plus 7 leaves me with negative 3. Awesome. So now moving on to the distributive property. So the first thing we're going to talk about is, what does distribution look like in real life? So I think everybody has been to Walmart before, hopefully. So there is a Walmart distribution center that's in Houston, Texas. So everything that you get at the Goshen Walmart or the Mishawaka Walmart starts out at that distribution center. They distribute or give these items to the Goshen Walmart and the Mishawaka Walmart so that they actually have things to sell there. That's exactly what our distributive property is doing. When we distribute something, that means we're giving something to each member of a group. So if we're taking a look at this algebraic example, I see I have A and then in parentheses B plus C equals AB plus AC. So we're distributing that A or multiplying that A to each term inside my parentheses. So here's my thinking for this problem. So make sure you're writing both of these down in your notes. So first off, I'm going to start with 5 times negative 9a plus 7. So I'm going to distribute my 5, and I'm going to draw who I'm distributing it to. So I'm distributing it to that negative 9a and the positive 7. So 5 times negative 9 would leave me with negative 45a, and then 5 times positive 7 would leave me with positive 35. So then that expression simplifies to negative 45a plus 35. That second one looks tricky. Go ahead and write that one down. We have a negative sign outside of our parentheses, and then 1 minus 8x on the inside. Well, I know, thinking back to what I already know about pre-algebra, or even just distributing in general, I know whenever I see a negative symbol outside of something and there's no number with it, then that's actually a negative 1. So I'm going to fill that in as a negative 1. And now I can distribute that to each of my terms inside my parentheses. So negative 1 times positive 1 leaves me with negative 1, and negative 1 times negative 8x leaves me with positive 8x. Okay, go ahead and try one on your own and pause it while you're working this one through. Okay, let's go ahead and go over it. So we have negative 5 that we are distributing to our 2 and our negative 10. So negative 5 times positive 2 is negative 10. And negative 5 times negative 10 is positive 50. And don't forget that x. That x is still with that 10. So our simplified expression would be negative 10 plus 50x. So now pulling it all together, I see in this problem, the very first thing that I want to do is simplify. And by simplify, I mean distribute, because I see I have parentheses and I have a number in front that I'm going to distribute. One very common error that I see students make is add this 2 plus 3 before distributing. And if you remember your order of operations, you would know that we can't add before we multiply. We always multiply first, which is why we are going to simplify by distributing that 3 to each term first. So I'm going to bring down my 2, and then we're adding positive 3 times positive 2, which is 6x, and 3 times 5 is 15. Now, is this completely simplified yet? No. I see I have some like terms of 2 and positive 15 that I need to combine. So 2 plus 15 leaves me with 17 plus 6x. So your answer here should be 17 plus 6x. Okay, your turn. Go ahead and pause it while you give this one a shot. All right, let's go through what you did. Follow along, check your answer with me here. So I have negative 5. I'm going to distribute first. Negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. Negative 5 times positive 6 is negative 30, if my 3 will work, x, don't forget that x, minus 10. So then my last step would be to combine any like terms that I have. I see I have a negative 20 and a negative 10. So when I combine those, I get negative 30 minus 30x. All right, so that's the end of the slideshow, or the end of the lesson. So make sure that you took really good notes during that, and then you can go show your teacher so that you can get your practice worksheet.